because I always love doing my aura to aura experiences. They are really, really special because I don't really come in with a topic. I usually come in because I want to speak with you aura to aura, meaning your body is inside of your soul. The body that you think about, the physical body, it's actually inside of your soul. So an aura to aura experience can only really take place if you are fully present. And so if you are here, Instagram and Insight Timer, if you are here and you are participating, I would love for you to summon the master within you to be here with me fully. If you need to leave, it's all good. But when you're here, I would love for you to be here fully, because your presence is very precious. And I would love for you to treat that as so. So if you're here, please say hello. Can you say hello if you see me? I see 8 of you, and I see some of you here on Instagram as well. Welcome, welcome. Please let me know if this is your first time with me. I would love to check in with you. And please use the comment section to share with me what is coming up. And I will dive into the comment section, and we will also use that as today's transmission, as part of today's transmission. Because this isn't about just what I'm coming in with. I can have that coming in as I speak. You will feel something coming up in you as well. And the whole purpose of the aura to aura experience here is you get to really tap into what is moving in your field. So a lot of things that we do here, if this is your first time, welcome. My name is Li Ying. We are going into an experience where we do frequency first. It is a spirit-led experience. It is about really elevating you to a place where you can live your life from your divine essence. Okay? And if I'm talking about divine essence, what do you think I'm really referring to? Let me know in the comment section. Is this something that you would love to tap into? Or is it something that you feel like, hey, it's really far out of reach? Like, I just want to get by every day. So I want to make it very clear here. My intention when I come in to a live session to share my transmissions, my intention is that it can shift your energy field. It can activate something in you. And my intention is really to bring forward a paradigm where you as a way shower, you as a light leader, because if you're not, I don't know what you're doing here, you can really release yourself into your divine essence, to live it fully, to let the divine live through you fully. Because ultimately, that is the reason why you incarnated here. There is no other reasons. It's not about what you're here to do as a job or an occupation. It's about completing your karmic cycle. It's about completing your so-called purpose and mission. So let's start from there. Kimmy, first time, welcome. Very, very welcome. Big warm welcome. So drop your questions, drop your contemplation. I will take note of it in the comment section for sure. And I will answer them. I will tap into the field and see what's coming through. And please show up as the master that you are. Please show up as the light leader that you are. And going from there, I want to drop into this beautiful transmission that came through when I was really tapping into what is very present for me to share in this aura to aura experience. And please breathe. Breathe. Let yourself be breathed, and let yourself breathe. There are lots of golden threads all around us right now in this conversation, so it's beautiful. So what was coming up in the field was this question, almost this presence where it's asking, how do you know when I'm following my soul's calling? What is the evidence that proves to me that I am following my soul's calling? And oh my gosh, it's Leticia. Hello, welcome. Hi, my love. Water Mama Pacha, new handle as well. Love that. Light leader, divine energy, feels pink, soft bass. Yes, beautiful. So the question in the field that popped up for me to lead this conversation today was, what is the evidence that I am following my soul calling? How do I know that I am following the lead of spirit? And the word evidence almost felt like it was popping out of the field. It was like, poof, like, what is the evidence? Where is the evidence? And I can tell you personally, oh my gosh, it's been such a journey. I would seek for that confirmation. I make one big move and I would look all around me, just waiting, looking out for that one big evidence that, hey, tells me you've done the right thing. But the extraordinary thing, or not so extraordinary thing, is I almost never find it. And even when I do, I almost don't ever feel satisfied with it. Has anyone felt the same way? Like, has anyone, felt and experienced that sort of thing as well? It's like you made a move, you've made this big decision in your head and you did it, you took that action, you invested, but then you're like, where's the evidence that I made the right decision? Oh my God. And then you start panicking and you start going around in your head and you start spiraling, and then you start to really, basically what you were doing is cluttering up your energy field with things that you really don't want. Who's felt that way before? Let me know. And so, just taking a deep breath here with everyone. Hey, I'm feeling it. And so what I really found on this journey to the inner temple within me, to be in profound intimacy with the divine within me, is that the evidence actually already is within us. Yes, so surprising, right? But it truly is. How do I know I am being the light? Being the light is not found as an evidence in some kind of research paper. It's not found in the manual or the manuscript someone else has written. When I know I'm being the divine light that I am, I feel it. And that is meant to be the evidence. It's meant to be enough to serve as the evidence that you are following your soul's calling. So how does that feel like for me? And it's different for everyone's blueprint, by the way. You have a very unique divine blueprint. Just putting it out here because you can sense things differently. You can maybe see things. Some of you hear things. Some of you feel it in your body. Some of you see colors even. But for me, it almost feels like this sense of, oh my God. And it's like this haloed, harmonious symphony that goes like, ah, in me. And it almost feels like something has lifted off from my gaze and I can see for the first time what I'm actually looking at. And it always follows a decision where I decided that, oh my God, I'm going to be very, very, very raw and honest. I'm going to share this right now. It freaks me out who's gonna read this. It freaks me out who's gonna see this. I don't know what she's gonna think about me if I'm sharing this. But here we go. And the revelation that always comes forth is beyond my mind could ever plan or perceive or conceive beforehand. And please breathe. How's everyone feeling before I go deeper? Who's feeling what I'm speaking about? If you have anything coming up, let me know. Yes? So this is the very interesting part where I want to talk about, oh, beautiful, Lotus Sanyaya. Is that the way I pronounce it? Let me know. Welcome, beauty. Loving this transmission, especially that is a feeling. Yes, beautiful, my love. Very close. Okay, let me know how to pronounce your name. I would love to get that right because I always get that myself with my name. So I fully respect it. If I need to learn, I'm gonna learn. Okay, so some of you who are with me here, who's been with me for a while, you know that I have a very devotional practice where I commune with Tea. Tea Spirit herself has been very transformational since the day that I met her. I received a mandate that I am to drop everything I know and go and serve Tea. And dropping everything I know still serves me until today. And it brings me to a very important point, because when we talk about, why we are constantly seeking for evidence outside of ourselves, when we talk about, hey, am I following the calling of my soul, or am I making a wrong move? Am I making a wrong decision, or is this decision correct? We have to go to the root of why we're asking that question. And the reason why we ask that question a lot is because we don't really trust our own divine essence that is speaking through us. Please take a deep breath. Agnaya. Yes, Agnaya. So how can we learn to trust ourselves? How can we trust the divine essence that is desiring to live through us? I just got out from my Way of Tea Mysterium with a divine client inside of my Majesty mentorship, and we spent a couple, 1.5 hours just talking and sharing about tea, because she's so deeply in love with the Way of Tea, and she's really diving deep into the tea leaves and what it is, the essence of the ceremony and everything. And what came out very strongly from the conversation was how often we come in with this preconceived idea, not just in the ceremony of a tea specifically, but in life. And the way we do one thing is the way we do everything, right? So when we already have a preconceived idea, for example, words that have been so hijacked in the old paradigm, by the old paradigm, love and light, yeah, being feminine, being soft, soften, gentle, the words like power even, because they have been so hijacked by a certain idea. And even stillness, by the way. There is this deep fear of actually even getting close to it. And because the ego is so identified with a certain identity, For example, you could be very identified with the fact that, hey, I'm a straight shooter, I'm fierce, I go for what I want, I'm a go-getter. Then you will be terrified of the idea of being identified with softening, stillness, perhaps. Even if you're not terrified and you actually secretly yearn for it and long for it and you go explore it in your own secret time, I'm looking at you. You will still have this residual sense of shame, almost like a guilt or like a doubt that causes this dissonance in your field of energy and light, where you cannot fully allow your divinity to flow through. Because in order to allow your divine essence to flow through fully, what it actually really means is you have to really love all parts of you and to remain so fluid to every moment, meaning you're not identified with a certain identity to the point where you're so rigid that, for example, maybe there is this scenario that requires you to really soften into it, but then because you are so identified with the fact that I'm so fierce and I'm a straight shooter and I'm blah blah blah, you can't do it. And then there are other moments where you feel like, I actually need to speak my truth, but you are like, oh, but that's so uncomfortable because that's not what they know me for. Then you're not living your full truth. You're not letting your divinity live fully. It's as simple as this. It's not about, hey, how can I feel like God? You know what? This God that you are thinking about when you think in that way is very hijacked as well. It's hijacked by this mental idea of what God is. Some God that is hanging from the wall, or some God that is perfect, does no wrong. And then we go even deeper. What does it even mean to do wrong? What does it even mean? And what if we live in a world where actually there isn't anything wrong? It's just a matter of perspective. I just want you to really breathe this in and really take a moment with this. How can I be a walking, integrated, multidimensional divine essence? The answer is certainly not ignoring your human aspects. If there is any part of you that is ashamed of your human ways, and this really even comes down to the fact that you defecate and sweat, and I've spoken about this many times, because there's something so real about touching someone, and we are so used to this screen that we're looking at now, right? That we even forget what it feels like to actually touch someone. And it feels jarring, almost like, ooh, sweaty palms. Or sitting in a circle with people and hearing the breathing or whatever it is, and we feel like, oh, this is so not perfect. I had a different idea of what it's like gonna be. And in my safe little space, my little cocoon here in my house, in my room, where I can just see everyone in the screen, I'm so safe. I'm in the comfort zone. Right? But, and breathe. But following your soul calling, there's no perfected path. Each one of us is different, and yet we have this mental idea that we all have to do the same thing. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? And breathe. Can you feel the sacred geometry of your aura connecting with the other fractals, fractal to fractal? Take a moment here. You know, I could get into my ego and say, oh my gosh, like, what the hell am I doing here with one person, one viewer, 12 viewers? It's so embarrassing. It's so awkward. I should be so far ahead now. Right? I should have like hundreds of viewers. I should have all these things. But where is this voice coming from if I thought that? And I certainly have thought that for a long time. Until I promised myself that I would never compromise this divine essence that's moving through me. This feeling that I just know is right. It's this holy harmony, this holy symphony that's singing through me. That is the evidence I'm looking for. Not some kind of, result on paper or research that proves me right. And you know what's the craziest thing? The craziest thing is reality reflects that essence back to you. Reality brings that to your door. So if you are still doubting, if you are still wondering where is the evidence, it's always been here. It's always been within you. And I invite you to trust it. I really invite you to trust it. You see, we have lost touch with our authority, our inner guides for so long that there's this whole idea, this man-made idea that tells you through books and videos that, hey, follow us. Our strategy works, follow us. This is the way. Drink almond milk, don't drink oat milk. Go vegan, don't eat meat. Hey, why are you vegan? That's not good. You should eat meat. And so on and so forth. And then we get triggered and we attack each other, matter to matter. Hello, Louisa. And what happens when matter attacks matter? What happens when matter goes against matter? We clash, right? More friction, no coherence. So if we come back to what I spoke about at the very beginning, if you missed that, catch the replay because it's going to be here. Your body is inside of your aura, and actually it's part of your aura. When you really operate in that way, when you move through the world that way, everything starts to look very differently, everything starts to feel very differently. And in fact, you will stop looking outside of yourself for answers. You will actually understand that everything that you perceive in your body, meaning, oh, I have so much anxiety. Oh, I am, I have bowel movements that happen when I'm nervous, or even more serious ailments. It all began where? It all began in your energy field. It all began in the unseen. And so it is very important for me, and very unfair if I didn't say this. It has to be said. have you really, really sat with your discomfort? And I want to deepen into this together. I want to bring you to a place where the word discomfort doesn't even mean something is bad or wrong. I want to bring you to a place where you see form is formlessness, formlessness is form. I want to bring you to a place where you can see that your divine essence is not separate from your human essence. And in fact, it's one step further than the divine essence that so many people talk about. I spoke about this in my mentorship in Majesty with my beautiful woman. And we were talking about this, I call it the pearl. This pearl is very uniquely individual. It is the complete microcosm of the cosmos. It is truly, and this is not something that is like plucked from somewhere, but you are truly a cosmic being. And you chose to come here to work on certain things which you are finding precisely in this moment to be very, very challenging. And I want to share with you something really personal, very vulnerable. I really realized this, that I've been doing myself for a long time, was I was using traveling to escape from my personal issues. I didn't even notice this until one day I was just talking to a friend and she was like, so what would you really like to do? When I was telling her all the things that was happening in my life that was really challenging, that was really not easy. And I said, oh, I would love to go to London. I would love to go down to London. I would love to go down to the tea house in London that I love, because there's no tea houses in Edinburgh. There's no one in Edinburgh who really is doing the things that I love, and there's nothing here. Blah, 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 blah. I see, as usual, the ego speaks. And I was like, wait, I just realized something. I just realized that I'm using traveling as an escape from what I really need to confront here. The fact that I feel like I couldn't express myself in the location that I'm in. The fact that when I first moved here, the land, the Divine Mother was calling out to me from the lands saying, you can work with me here. And I did. I really did. And when I was sitting with this, when I'm contemplating this, I realized that I can actually give myself grace for certain things to come into completion. And this is something for so many of us women that we tend to beat ourselves up with. It's like, I committed to this, and now what? Why does it feel like I haven't achieved anything, but it feels like it's complete? And if you really drill down to it, I haven't achieved anything. What is that? What is the benchmark for that? Some kind of old paradigm standard, right? Maybe it's something like, oh, I have to have like accolades or awards, or some kind of, if you are an entrepreneur, it's probably like some kind of coverage in the media, or some kind of milestone in your bank account, all of those things. Or friends, or whatever. It's like, oh, I haven't made any friends. I haven't made anything here. What do you mean I'm complete? But you know what? Completion in the most divine, essence rooted way, it doesn't feel like it's, the evidence doesn't land in the reality the way our mind actually think it will. And breathe. Please breathe. Louisa, oh God, oh my gosh, you used to travel too. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing something so personal. I feel you, my love. Thank you for receiving the medicine, the potent transmission. You know, I'm a 4/6 in human design, so my stories are medicine. My stories are transmissions. My lived experience is literally the way I lead, the way I mentor. And like it or not, you know, some people can resonate and some people won't. You see, this is why, again, we're going back to, like, first we have to decondition. You know, I've met people who say, like, you know, why are you even looking for a mentor who is not, like, done with their lessons? Like, they have to be perfect. I'm like, where are you going to find someone like that? Even if they say they are, I can smell the fakeness immediately. I just cannot do it. I can smell the frequency behind their words. It's like, I don't know who you are. I don't really know who you are, right? So coming from my own personal experience, I would want to be with someone, I would want to walk with someone who is really raw and unfiltered in their leadership. And this is where I just want to really bring together everything that we are sharing here. And please leave a comment if you have a question or anything that is moving through you. I would love to really tap into that with you. We have to first decondition the way we associate with words, the way we associate our mental capacity. You know, when the mind is so full, when it's already associated with something, there is no space for divine intervention. There is no space for divine transmission. I'm very honored to be a wisdom keeper of the way of tea, where it is the doorway to unite with oneness, the doorway to unite with the Tao, right? The divine within us. And this is something that is just so beautiful, and it's been used for a long time. You know, it isn't something I invented. The ancient ones already knew that the way they can merge with nature, to remember they are one with nature again, is to honor the plant and become one with it. And it requires your humility. Again, what are you associating energetically to the word humility here, yeah? It requires your heart to be open. And it requires endurance. And tea doesn't ask of you to be anything but yourself. All of those words I just said, it's only for the mind. Because the mind can be so stubborn, right? And the mind that I'm talking about here is the logical mind. I'm not talking about the universal mind. We want to activate the universal mind. The logical, analytical mind has to go back to its position. Its position as the steward, as the one who helps you to execute, not the one who makes the decision, not the one who's telling you, hey, stay where you are. It's too scary. The unknown is really scary right now, so stay where you are. And I see this so often. People actually go out there and they argue for their smallness. They argue for things that they hate. They argue for it. And they don't even know this. One thing about the presence of the divine is that it doesn't come in a complicated way. And I think that's why it bowls people over. They're like, are you sure it's this simple? Like, are you really, really the divine? And yet it is. And yet it is. And actually the path requires, it asks of you to strip more and more and more and more and more of your ego away. And it doesn't mean that you can't have a beautiful life. Far from it. It's the most beautiful life. I love wearing beautiful dresses. I love wearing beautiful hats, as you can see. I love to dress up. I love to come into ceremony with the most vivacious flowers. I want the finest ceramics. I want to serve my guests in the most beautiful tea rooms. I want the most beautiful artwork on my walls. I appreciate artisans. I appreciate artists. I appreciate the material sacredness, the way the sacred is presented in the material things. But that is very, very different from the energy of someone who is saying, I just need more to fill up this emptiness in me. You get what I'm saying? Do you feel it? Okay. All right, my loves. So I will take a moment so that you can bring forth whatever that is alive for you right now in the comment section. If not, I will feel like it's complete for today. I'm just really happy that you're here to join me and recognize that whatever it is that's coming through for you, that's activated within you. And also I just want to really say that this is why, how do I put this? This is why it's so important to have a space where you're not told what is right or wrong, right? I think we have enough of that in the world. What I would desire for you is a place where you can be seen for who you really are. And who you really are is not set in stone. I am drawing while you speak. It's so beautiful. I really want you to know this. Who you really are is not set in stone. Thank you. Goddess within bows to Goddess in you. Same, my love. Same, my love. The divine essence that you read in sacred texts, that you hear about all the time, when it comes down to it, it's a non-differentiated energy. It's non-differentiated energy, meaning it cannot bear any judgment about is it good or bad, is it right or wrong, is it black or white. It doesn't have that. And that essence carries out the potency in equal measure. But there's a reason why it's coming through you as the prism, you as the sacred geometry, because you get to decide, you get to design. This is your mastery, this is your artistry. You get to design life. And I know sometimes it feels like life is doing its thing on you, to you. But what is happening is the divine is always living through you. And when you become intentional about what you're focusing first in the quantum field, then life will work with you. It only feels like life is doing its thing to you and you have no control over it. It's because you're trying to escape it, or you're trying to get hold of it, when what it really is, it's like water. It's not meant to stay stagnant. It's not meant to stay in one place. It's like, oh, you know, I know I'm a different person, I'm a unique person, but then I would love everything to stay the same. Doesn't work that way. As hard as it feels sometimes, if we can fully acknowledge the movement of the essence, we can learn to work with it more. And more and more and more, you surrender. You surrender to it and you act in accordance with it. This is what it means to be in effortless action. Doesn't mean you just sit there and do nothing and wait. It means that you act in precision. It means you act in oneness with your divinity. Right? Okay. Louisa, how can the conditioning block beauty come into our life? Just take a deep breath, my love. What does the divine in you say? So beautiful. I feel that you already know this answer, but for me, what's coming up actually as I dance with your light, weave with your light, is that the conditioning is like this brittle veil that is just such an excuse for your radiance. It's an excuse for showing up in your full radiance. Like, you already know what are the conditionings that are holding you back. You already know that the conditionings are a veil, an illusion. You already know that. And when you know that, and yet it's there, it's like saying, I know how fucking radiant I am, but I'm just gonna put this around me because it's so easy to excuse myself from being in my fullness and full embodied divine expression when I tell people that, hey, I've still got some conditioning that I need to decolonize or decondition. You're on another level already, baby. So beautiful. I already feel it, I can sense it, I can see your light. So let that be done. Let that be done. Let the conditioning go. You don't need to protect yourself. Come and sit with me. Sounds like tea. Sean. Okay, let's see what Sean's saying. I sometimes question my appreciation for quality and beautiful objects, but it is important to me and feels right. They carry their own energy, absolutely. I often say this, sacred luxury. Again, a word that's been hijacked, luxury. Luxury and the sacred are at the same frequency. They're always and always have been. But it's been hijacked, obviously, by the matrix, the paradigm. And when we really come into a place where I absolutely would, honestly, I would chase down an artisan just to get that object, that not perfect in the sense of the hijack term perfect, but like the perfect, soulful, amazing thing that I can hold in my hand. Like, I would do it. And this is very interesting, by the way. I can tell you, I had to come to a point where I was like, is this an attachment to something? And the irony of this is the artist and the artisan are going to teach you to unattach. They're going to teach you to unattach from the object and actually tap into the feeling of having it. It's so interesting. You know, because they take so much longer than something where you can just have instant gratification and buy and have. I mean, the artisans that I work with, they take a few weeks to a few months to create what I had envisioned. It's like the tea bowl that I send out to my mentees. It's a special design that we came up together with, and you know, no one has it in the world. But that took a couple of weeks and actually a few months to come into fruition. And I had to like really unattach from like, oh, I want it now, I need it now, you know? And can she respond to me right now? Right? So I think it's a beautiful awareness, Sean. Like, that is so beautiful. And I hope I'm pronouncing your name right because I can see an accent on your A. All right. So, my loves, a couple of invitations. If you haven't yet, there is a free masterclass called The Unrealistic Woman that you can access if you want more transmissions like this. That was a fiery, powerful, activating transmission that I would love to share with you. So if you like that, just pop on over to the link in my bio or DM me. And if you feel that we can explore deepening into what's going on in your world privately, there are a few limited spots of free connection call that you can book into. I don't know what is left, but you can definitely book into it. It's also in the link in my bio. It's called the Meet Your Majesty call. So much of what we do here is really about deconditioning and then filling you up with your divine essence so that you can move and shape the world through your expression. Not from, hey, can you come with me? You're wrong because you're not in agreement with me. It's about really moving in the world with different fractals and still standing very firmly anchored in your own light. And I think a lot of multidimensional women really, really is time for us to feel into that. So if you're interested, join me. I would love to speak to you. DM me. That's where we begin. And if you're here on Instagram, thank you so much. If you're here on Insight Timer, and if you're dropping donations as well to support this place and support this from, you know, stopping, because Insight Timer is a weird place right now, not gonna lie. Thank you very much as well. Thank you, Miranda. And if it served you, drop me a comment, a review. I would so appreciate you, honestly. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for joining me.